There are times in every relationship, whether romantic, familial, or platonic, when you feel an emotional distance creeping in. It's as if the bond you once had is slipping through your fingers, and no matter what you do, the gap between you and your partner seems to widen. This feeling of disconnection can be frustrating, confusing, and even heartbreaking. The causes of this emotional distance vary from individual stressors to unresolved conflicts or simple everyday distractions that gradually erode the closeness you once enjoyed. However, it's important to understand that feeling disconnected doesn't mean your relationship is doomed. In fact, with some intentional strategies and psychological insights, you can reconnect and rebuild the emotional bridge that may have been strained. In this video, we're going to explore how to maintain or regain a sense of connection, even when it feels like you're worlds apart. Whether you're struggling with a partner, family member, or friend, the solutions we'll discuss are rooted in psychology and backed by research, offering a path forward even when things feel emotionally distant. Number 1, recognize and acknowledge the disconnection. The first step in maintaining a connection is acknowledging that you've drifted apart. This may seem simple, but often, when we're emotionally distant, we avoid confronting the problem because we fear it may cause more tension. However, studies show that people who openly acknowledge their emotions and address problems head-on tend to experience stronger relationships in the long run. A study by Dr. Gottman, a leading researcher in relationship psychology, found that couples who engage in open dialogue about their emotions and concerns have a higher chance of long-term success than those who bottle things up. Simply admitting that you're feeling disconnected, whether it's due to work stress, emotional burnout, or miscommunication, can be the first step to mending the gap. It's also crucial that both parties acknowledge the issue and express how they feel, not only as a way to validate each other's emotions, but also to open the door for productive solutions. Number 2, communicate with empathy and vulnerability. Once you've acknowledged the disconnection, the next step is to engage in meaningful communication. However, this isn't about pointing fingers or assigning blame. It's about being vulnerable and empathetic toward each other. Empathy, which involves understanding and sharing the feelings of another, is essential in rebuilding a connection. Psychologist Dr. Brené Brown's research into vulnerability highlights that vulnerability is not a weakness, but rather a key to forming deeper connections. When we open up and share our authentic feelings with another person, it helps foster trust and intimacy. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try expressing something like, "I've been feeling unheard lately, and it's affecting how I feel about our connection." This approach is less accusatory and more likely to invite understanding and empathy. Moreover, empathy plays a critical role in bridging emotional gaps. When both people approach the situation with a willingness to understand the other's perspective, it fosters emotional safety. Research conducted by Dr. Marshall B. Rosenberg, the founder of nonviolent communication, shows that empathy is a powerful tool for reducing conflict and enhancing relationships. This type of communication helps you articulate feelings without judgment, allowing both parties to feel understood and supported. Number 3, prioritize quality time together. Life can get overwhelmingly busy, and often emotional disconnection stems from a lack of time spent together. This doesn't mean just being physically present in the same room, but rather engaging in meaningful activities that allow you to connect on a deeper level. A study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships shows that couples who engage in shared activities tend to report higher levels of satisfaction and closeness. This can be anything from a simple walk together, cooking a meal as a team, or setting aside time for deep conversation without distractions. By dedicating time to each other, you show that you value and prioritize the relationship. The key to maintaining connection through shared time is to focus on the quality, not the quantity of time spent together. It's easy to fall into routines where you just go through the motions. Instead, be intentional about how you use your time. This intentionality, whether it's planning date nights, setting aside time for deep conversation, or even traveling together, can reignite the emotional spark that may have dimmed over time. Number 4, be open to change and growth. People change and relationships change. Sometimes disconnection occurs because one or both people have evolved in ways that are not immediately obvious to the other. You may be at different life stages, pursuing new interests, or simply developing new perspectives that no longer align with how things used to be. Psychological studies on relationships, such as those by Dr. Susan Johnson, suggest that accepting and even celebrating change within your relationship is essential to maintaining connection. When one partner changes, it can trigger feelings of uncertainty or insecurity in the other. But these changes don't have to be a negative thing. In fact, if both people approach the changes with openness and support, it can strengthen the relationship. This is where flexibility comes into play. Understanding that both you and your partner are individuals who will grow and change is key to keeping the bond intact. Be curious about the changes in your partner's life and ask questions that show you're interested in their growth. This creates a safe space for both people to continue evolving without the fear of growing apart. Number 5, practice active listening. Active listening is one of the most effective ways to maintain connection, especially when emotions are running high. This involves listening attentively without interrupting, offering feedback, and showing that you're fully present in the moment. Active listening demonstrates respect and care for the other person's thoughts and feelings. According to Dr. Carl Rogers, a pioneer in humanistic psychology, active listening is a foundational tool in fostering empathy and understanding. When both parties actively listen to each other, it creates a space where each person feels heard and valued. This, in turn, strengthens the emotional bond and helps to reconnect when the relationship feels distant. One technique to improve active listening is the reflective listening method, where you mirror back what your partner has said, confirming that you've understood. For example, if your partner says, "I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed lately," you might respond, "It sounds like you're feeling really stressed out. Do you want to talk about it?" This shows not only that you're paying attention, but also that you care about their emotional state. Number 6, seek professional help when needed. While many relationship struggles can be worked through with communication, there are times when professional help is beneficial. Relationship counseling or therapy can offer valuable insights into the underlying issues causing disconnection. A therapist can help guide conversations, provide coping strategies, and offer perspectives that may not be immediately obvious to those involved in the relationship. Research from the American Psychological Association suggests that couples therapy, when done correctly, can result in significant improvements in communication and emotional connection. Even if the problem isn't particularly severe, seeking professional help can provide the tools needed to reconnect and move forward. Maintaining connection in a relationship when you feel emotionally disconnected isn't always easy, but it's far from impossible. By acknowledging the disconnection, communicating with empathy and vulnerability, prioritizing quality time, and being open to change, you can reignite the bond between you and your partner. Active listening and professional guidance also play crucial roles in fostering a healthy, thriving connection. Remember, relationships require continuous effort and commitment. They aren't just built on love, but also on understanding, compromise, and emotional investment. If you're feeling disconnected, it's an opportunity to grow together and strengthen your bond. If you found these insights helpful, be sure to like this video, share it with anyone who might benefit, and don't forget to subscribe for more relationship tips. Also, check out our recommended videos on maintaining healthy relationships and improving communication. Click on the ones that appear on your screen now. Thanks for watching!